I can barely walk, but we still ain't leaving the club. Bottles full of bourbon and we all about to pour. I'm just a Florida boy, like for a country girl. With a twang in your voice, I'll give you world. Dancing, dancing, dancing all night till the lights turn on.
Hello world, welcome to the Colors of America. I'm your host, Laury Prudent, and I'm here with the spectacular artist, Charm3r.
How you doing, Laury? I'm Charm3r, and I'm an artist. I'm a videographer, photographer, graphic designer, engineer, dancer, film producer. Great to be here. I dabbled in a lot of genres, but I recently ventured into country, and it was a fun venture.
I like it. I like it. I do. I think it's catchy. I think especially in this TikTok era, with the right moves, with the right movement, you can catch fire. I seriously do. It's catchy. It's well produced. You know, and I remember growing up, and my mom and dad listened to country music, so I always felt like it's the Caribbean people resonate to it. Whether it brings you to a different place, you know, I don't know, but I like your song. I think it's gonna do great.
Thank you. It's definitely an attention grabber, and it throws people off because, one, I'm from Miami, and I got a whole country hip hop type song. So it's like when I perform it, they look at me, they're like, "This is different, but I like it." But they get into it. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely a fun venture. It's something that I'm actually looking forward to getting into more. So, you know, we'll see how it goes.
So outside of the country music, what was your first EP, your first single?
My first EP was actually with my boy Geach, and this was like literally right when I had got out. It's called NM to NMB. Okay. And basically it's because he's from North Miami, I'm from North Miami Beach, so it was like NM to NMB, we combined. And that took us, that gave us a little motion too, because it had us performing and getting shows in Atlanta, and we didn't even drop it yet. So it was pretty interesting. And then after that, I did an EP called Her Pink Lips.
Her Pink Lips?
Yes.
Which lips you talking about? Hold on.
So with Her Pink Lips, I let the mind wander.
Okay.
I let the mind wander.
This is for the grown and sexy people. This part of the interview.
Right. So I let the mind wander. It's an R&B project, of course. It has 7 songs, and it did a little thing. But now to this day, like, you know, now that I'm getting more recognition as an artist, people go back. Yeah. And they listen to the old songs and they like, yo, that Her Pink Lips though? And I'm like, oh, you heard it. It's like, okay, cool.
So you're gonna have to drop a visual for that soon. Because sometimes I find like even big name artists, a lot of their songs that popped, they recorded them years prior to, you know? So I always feel like, even though I'm not an artist, I can be in a studio for hours. I love it. Creatives usually can go between music and productions. And one thing that I've learned is you got to strike when the iron is hot. You got to be at the right place at the right time, because you never know when somebody's in the room is going to just love your vibe, love your energy, and invest in you. Have you had a chance to meet anybody that you feel is kind of like seeing your potential and wanting to pour into that?
Definitely. For one, my manager, he came into the picture and just was like, he became more than a manager, so now it's like he's like a brother. But he definitely seen the potential with me and even with Ferry too, because it's like, you know, we both was doing our thing, and it's like, whoa, hold up, let me come into this situation. And he really showed us that he believed in us. And even my old manager, you know, Chef Curry, him too, because like, it's funny because like you would never think an old manager and your present manager will come together and actually, and it's like,
they believe in you. They see the vision.
Right. So
I want to dab a little bit about your wife, Ferry.
Yes.
Tell us about how that began, because you said she dabbles in music as well. So I want to hear a little bit of the love story.
So it's pretty funny. We went to high school together.
Okay.
I was her math tutor.
Really?
Yes, because like she sat in front of me, and I don't know if she really didn't know math for real or if she was just playing around. I don't know, who knows.
Well, yeah.
But she was like, you know, I was pretty good in math in general. Like I was like the kid in math that got all the A's and B's and stuff, and then people would look at me like, you're barely in class. How you getting? I'm like, hey, I don't know. So she would turn around and be like, help me. I'm like, what you need help on? She would tell me, I help her. So from there, and then she also did the talent shows too.
Okay. Because
she's a dancer as well. And it's funny because the dancers I had for my performances, one of the talent shows, I didn't do a dance thing. And they all went to her, and it was like, okay, cool, that's fine. I'm not mad. Mm-hmm. So long story short, we graduate. From us graduating, probably a couple years later, I see her on Instagram dancing again. I'm like, huh? So I hit her. I was like, hey, you want to be in a music video? She's like, when? Sure. I was like, yeah, I got this music video coming up. It's called Quarantine and Vibe.
Okay.
And
was this around COVID?
It was definitely around quarantine.
Okay.
Like right when quarantine hit, I was like, oh, I'm going to make a song called Quarantine and Vibe.
Smart.
So I did that. She came through for the video, and then literally the day she like linked back up with me, to this day right now, it's been every day.
Aww.
It's crazy. It was like, it came to a point where it's like, if you don't make her your girl, you're stupid.
You're stupid. Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
smart man.
Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and, cause I told her this too. I was like, I'm not looking for a relationship. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying. I really thought, I came to a point where I was like, I'm gonna be a bachelor. Like, forget it. I'm out for the count. There's love ain't for me. Then here comes Fairy with the Wings. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Fairy with the Wings, I like that.
Yeah, so basically that's how that happened. And since then, we just been, riding for each other ever since.
That's beautiful. I think in the music industry, men like to portray themselves as the single ladies' man bachelor. So it's beautiful that you're not afraid to showcase her. It's beautiful that you are supporting her in every avenue, because I feel like there's a market for like women like myself and other like my friends, my circle of friends. We like it when a man is adoring his woman. I kind of stray away from those artists that are all they have to say is bitch this and hold that.
Yeah.
I like it when you can appreciate the woman that you're with, and you show that to the world, because with social media, people be married and you don't even know who they don't post them. So it's beautiful. I see how you guys, I met you at an event, and I see how you guys are together, and like there's a chemistry that you can't fake. It's beautiful. So salute to you guys. Salute.
Thank you.
Now, future projects. We're going to come back to the personal life, but I want to talk about future projects, because you also mentioned that you do producing. Mm-hmm. And then how did you get involved in the production side of stuff?
Well, honestly, I got involved in production because, me as an artist, I got tired of waiting on other videographers, or sometimes the videographers would give me back my work and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
I paid for this, I'm mad. So it was like, okay, I'm going to just do this myself. So I started dabbling. Then I started with editing. I'm like, oh, I could do this. Then from editing, the more I started editing stuff, I picked up a camera, started doing videos for other people, started doing videos for Fairy, started doing videos for my team. And it's like, people hit me. They're like, oh, yo, your videos is fire. I'm like, really? Like, I was just doing this for, my team. You know what I'm saying? So then I started expanding. That's how I got into doing videos. Now, the film side of it, we have something called sleepover parties. Okay. Where it's like, and everybody always was like, what's a sleepover party?
Yeah, let me know. Let me know what's going on.
So basically what it is we get houses, right? Like we rent out houses, and then we throw a party. Okay. Like super lit party. It'd be like, and it'd be like such good vibes. It's not even like, you go to parties, especially in Miami, you'd be like, oh, something might happen. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
But the difference between our parties and everybody else's is that after the party, if you want to, you can sleep over.
That's responsible too, as well, for people who's drinking. You don't want, something to happen.
So sometimes we have people, have rooms. If people, don't have rooms, or if the rooms run out, then they could bring their air mattresses, and it'd be like literally 15 people on air mattresses. It'd be crazy. It'd be crazy, because she actually came and woke up one day literally and said, "I had a dream we had a sleepover party." I said, "What? What are you talking about?" And then she was like, "Yeah, like we had a party. It was lit. The DJ was lit. And then after that, everybody got tired and went to sleep." I was like, "What?" Like, it was the craziest thing ever, but I was like, let's do it.
But you brought it to life.
No one ever did that before.
I hope I get an invite to the next one.
Oh, no, you definitely get an invite for sure.
I would feel some kind of way if I don't.
For sure. So our manager stepped in and he said, "Y'all sleeping on a bag." And I'm like, "What type of bag are we sleeping on?" He's like, "A reality show." So it was like, we thought about it and it was like, oh, might be smart. So we did the reality show, off of that. It was supposed to be based on the sleepover parties and us having the parties, but then it turned into the come up party, which is just like showing the real life of all these different individuals who's making it or coming up, making it in South Florida.
So it's showing the real hustle, not just the limelight, what goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
As well.
Like the like I said, some people lost their real deal family while filming.
Wow.
And it was crazy.
Like I can imagine.
Yeah, like our last party, crazy. Like his dad passed while DJing. And it was
wow.
We didn't know what to, me and Frey was like, this is like our brother.
Yeah.
And me and Frey was like, whoa, did this really just happen? Like, you're joking, right? And it's like, nah, he passed. It was like, wow. So there's a lot of stuff that happened on that show. We've been filming for 7 months.
Wow.
So it came out pretty good.
When are you projected to wrap up, edit? Like what's I'm interested. I want to see this show.
We're wrapping up around. Actually, we're kind of like wrapped up already. We're just adding like little touches to it. But I say around August, between like late August, something will be,
a teaser. You're gonna release a little teaser for us?
We kind of released the teaser already, but not so much.
Okay.
But I say around August, like things will really come to light with that, as far as actually broadcasting it and stuff.
Okay, we'll be looking for it. Now, you talk about performances. Is there one particular performance venue that sticks out to you where you kind of said, okay, I can do this for the rest of my life?
It was when I went to Atlanta.
I hear about Atlanta.
I went to Atlanta and it was like a crowd of, it was 2 performances actually, but I went to Atlanta and it was like a crowd of like 2,000 people.
Wow.
And it was like, I'm like, whoa, all these people, it's crazy. So it gave me an adrenaline. Like Ferry always asks me like, are you nervous? And I'm like, no, I'm not nervous.
You're not nervous?
Not really, no. Cause it's like, when I perform, I turn into a whole different person. Like it's just like I go.
Is it like an out of body experience, kinda?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. Cause I remember another show where I opened up for Moneybagg Yo.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I opened up for Moneybagg Yo in Orlando. It was Moneybagg Yo, Rod Wave, and Hot Boy. I opened up for them 3, and this crowd was huge. It was like, 10,000 people?
Wow.
And all I seen in the crowd was just faces, and I'm like, whoa. I ain't gonna lie. If I say I got nervous, it was probably that one time I got nervous. But it was like, it's either you're gonna do it or not.
Yeah.
And then, I did it. And there was vibing. Cause at the end of the day, when you're doing a show like that, so big, and they came for certain artists, they like, who are you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I still was able to get them to move. So it was like, it just let me know like I could do it. So it was definitely.
I know one day you hope to headline your own show, your own concert.
Right, yeah, definitely. And that's what I'm definitely heading towards, especially with this country lane. Because country does concerts, they do festivals, they do all that. Like, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
So now, I feel like everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses. I don't like to talk about my weaknesses too much because I feel like what you give energy to, you focus on giving it power. Mm-hmm. What are your strengths you feel as not just a man, but as an artist?
My strength is my work ethic. Like, I honestly feel like nobody is working or moving as fast as I am. Like, that's just me. I move at a pace where it's like sometimes even my own manager be like, I gotta keep up with you. But it's like, it's not a bad, like, sometimes you move fast and it could be a bad bad thing sometimes. But it's a good thing. At one point it was a bad thing because I was just moving without really, I was just jumping from one thing to the next. But now it's like, I'm to the point where it's like, I understand what the goal is. Mm-hmm. I understand where we're heading. And I was like, yeah, I'm moving fast, but we're moving fast in a organized manner. Mm-hmm. So I would say my work ethic. That's what set you apart. Yes.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your upbringing. Because you say that your family is Haitian Bahamian. Mm-hmm. You see everything that's going on, I'm sure now in Haiti, and you hear about it in the news. Did you have a tough upbringing? Is there something that tugs at your heart to wanting to help the people now?
There's something that definitely do tug at my heart not because of my upbringing, but because I'm just, like, that's just me. That's how I am. Like, even with my peoples, like, if I know one of my peoples are struggling, if I got it, I'm gonna make sure that they're good. That's just the type of person I am. Now, with my upbringing, like, I actually had it pretty good, not as far as, like, financially, but I had it pretty good as far as, like, I wasn't stressed. Mm-hmm. Like, especially for the typical Haitian child. Yeah. Their mom, their dad, they on top of them. They making sure, like, you know what I'm saying? But my mom and dad had 4 older brothers before me. Okay. They tired of dealing.
You got away with a lot.
Right. So it's like, they was like, as long as it's your brother, that's fine. I don't mind, whatever. So it was like that. But I didn't go out of, I didn't do nothing disrespectfully or anything. They knew what I was doing. Like, I told them, like, even when I told them I'm not going back to, like, when I did go to college, but I didn't end up finishing. Ooh, but the reason I didn't end up finishing, that's a big thing for Haitian parents. Oh, I know. But I told them, I was like, man, I'm going at my music full force. And they was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. And it was, my dad supported me. It took a while for my mom too, but she started supporting me too, especially when she started seeing, like, oh, okay, like, this is really working for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I knew where, I was heading. I knew what I was supposed to do. Yeah. So that's why I made that decision.
Now, I'm one of those where I like to pay it forward. Mm-hmm. Like, I have young girls that email me, call me just for advice or kind of like a mentor in a sense. Do you have any charities, or is that something that you like to do, is kind of like strive to guide? Because there's a lot of bad representation for these young men. Right. Are you trying to show these young men how to kind of like, there's not only one way to be, you don't only have to be a gangster, you can be a creative, but still, a nice guy in a sense. Right. So definitely that, a lot of people come to me for, like, advice, mentorship, like, even people that's older than me sometimes, they're like, I don't know what it is. Maybe they just see me as like a lot of the people that's around me look at me like a leader figure. So they don't mind following me because they know that I'm not gonna, really lead them astray. And if I do lead them, it's not intentionally, but it's like, okay, he's leading the pack. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, it's like, I learn from other people. And then from learning from other people, like, I got, like, the alpha, like, I'm an alpha
type male. So it's like I try to make sure that everybody is moving in the right direction and everything. And if they're not, I tell them, I don't sugarcoat nothing. Like even with Fairy, sometimes she may not like what I have to say. Like, no, of course I don't disrespect her, but like, you know, as far as like her business, her brand and stuff like that, I be telling her straight up, like, you're an artist, you gotta, you know, move. Like, she'd be like, oh, I'm doing too much. I was like, you're an artist, you're supposed to do too much.
Never too much.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like a lot of people come to me for advice. They look at me and Fairy like a power couple. So a lot of people come to us for advice. Sometimes it's a little, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like sometimes it puts us in their drama. It's like, oh, please stop. You know what I'm saying? But it's fine. It's but definitely me and her try to give back as much as we can. Like even to the people that just be on the streets asking. You know, we don't need to know their situation because sometimes you got to really look at it. What if that was you? You would want someone to help you. So that's how we look at it.
So you seem like business runs your life. What do you do for fun? What type of things do you like to do for enjoyment? Yeah.
I mean, I do a lot. I'm an anime freak. I watch anime all day.
I can see you as a character.
I love anime. I'll sit there and watch anime all day if you let me. Especially if she lets me. And then she sometimes has to be like, yo, you gonna watch anime all day? I'm like I sit there and just watch. So that's one of the things I love watching anime.
Is it about the fantasy world?
I don't know what it is. Like I like the action type animes. Okay. Like I like the powers, the superpowers. Like if you don't have superpowers, it's kind of boring to me. Unless it's like an anime like Death Note, for example. Like it makes you think.
It's a mental, yeah.
It's like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Like if it's one of those, then that's cool. But like I'm mainly like a person, like I like to, even with the movies I watch, like I like Marvel, because like the superpower stuff it's interesting to me. If it's not, I don't really like guns. Guns be boring to me. Like
it's too easy.
It's like, okay, anybody can shoot, but do you have powers? Right? Do you have powers? You get what I'm saying? So it's more like that. But of course, like I'm a dancer, so I be dancing a lot too. We party. We definitely party.
You live life.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Every day.
You got to. Cause, you know, you have one life. So you definitely gotta live life, enjoy yourself. But the main thing is just living life and having fun. I go with the flow. Like one day you could see us riding a horse. Like we're just adventurous. We like to do different things and new things.
Now, I'm gonna go back to superpowers. If you could have one superpower, what would that be?
If I got one superpower, it would be to multiply.
Copies of yourself?
Not me. To multiply anything I want to multiply.
Wow. Okay.
Cause then, shit, I could take $1 and multiply. It'll multiply forever, and we'll never have
be
issues.
Without.
Not even just in that, like just for anything, food. You can feed people easily with no problem. It's just, to multiply.
I like that. Me, I think I would want to read minds, but then I'm like, sometimes I don't want to know what everybody's thinking.
I thought about that. Sometimes
I don't.
That was one of mine for a minute, reading minds. But it's like you said, like, I don't want to, sometimes you might run into a mind and it's like, whoa, let me get out of here.
Yeah, you should have kept that to yourself.
Right, so it's like, nah, I'm good.
So the whole title and gist of this show, The Colors of America, is highlighting individuals, big names, independent artists, like artists and people, because we feel like everybody has a story to tell. So when the producer, director, Andrew and I were meeting, I thought of an array of people that I felt like not only the exterior is creative and it's colorful, but I kind of felt like just meeting you briefly, I felt like there was a lot of energy coming from you. So one thing that I'm very thankful for is that you're opening up. Like this wasn't like pulling teeth. Basically, you are an open book. And that shows by how you dress, that shows in your music, that just shows who you are day to day. Is there anything that you want to say, because we're going to wrap up soon, but say to a person who suffers from self-esteem issues or don't believe in themselves? What are words of encouragement that you could give an older or a younger person who's trying to find themselves?
The best thing I could say to anybody that's really trying to find themselves is to be you. Sometimes you got to look in that mirror and just claim yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had a problem growing up where it's like people will always be in my ears. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I'll run with this person, what this person just said, then someone else will say something else, then I'll go run with this. But I had to stop that and really understand like my value. Mm-hmm. So you really got to understand your value as a person and just like understand like this is you, be you. You know what I'm saying? Like I never would have thought myself doing country, mm-hmm. a country song, but I just thought to myself like, you know, country is a genre, pop is a genre, but with me, I love music, so I call myself a genre. Mm-hmm. So really just be you and just understand your value and never lower your value for nobody.
Nobody. I love that. I'm a piggyback on that and say, sometimes you gotta quiet the noise. Like you know thyself. Or if you have a relationship with a higher power, whoever you believe in, sometimes you have to quiet yourself, and that may mean removing yourself for a minute away from lots of people or energies. Mm-hmm. And one of my profound moments, I was in Asia, sitting, staring at the ocean at like 5 a.m, right before sunrise. And I could hear, like, I literally heard, I say it's the voice of God, but I heard the little Laury inside say, Laury, I remember being 5 and dreaming to one day travel the world. Laury, you did this. Laury, you deserve this. Laury, this is just the beginning. Like I had that little girl within me feeding into me at that very moment. And it was because I wasn't with a lot of people. Because normally in our industry, there's people always around us, you know? Mm-hmm. And sometimes that can like block out the real true message that you need to hear for yourself. So I love the fact that you just being yourself and allowing yourself to hear the voice within is something that I feel we need to share with this youth, because now everybody's just trying to look like somebody else, sound like somebody else, be like somebody else. This culture of, I ain't got nothing against TikTok, but it's like everybody's trying to get TikTok famous, and it's not by being themselves. Yeah. Sometimes the women are being extra promiscuous, or the guys are being extra, gangsta bang bang, and that's not who they are to the core. Mm-hmm. So I love the fact that you are just promoting being yourself. Look at you. When you walk into a room, I know from when you walked into a room, even when Ferry walked into the room, she showed up before you did at the event. And I could tell that because you told me she was coming. I said, I knew that was your people, because there was a confidence. There was I belong here. Mm-hmm. And us as Caribbean people, we don't always feel that way. Sadly, I hear that. A lot of them tell me, I feel like I don't belong in this room. You do belong in this room, okay? Mm-hmm. If you work hard, if you believe in yourself, you do not say, I am the table. I don't want to be the table. No, because my table ain't never going to be big enough. You're in that room. So forget the table. There's a reason why you're even there. Right. So that's something that I definitely want to encourage you to continue. Do not, I already know you ain't stopping. You ain't slowing down. Nah. So what's coming up for you? How do people find you? What's your social media handles? This is your send off. So you could definitely find me everywhere on all platforms at Charm3r. So that's CHARM, the number 3 and then R. And on my social media platforms is I'm Charm3r. So that's IMCHARM3R. And what's coming up next? Of course, we're gonna blow up this country song. Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. Play it. We should play it on. I'm gonna rock to it. Okay, let's do it. I know you got it on speed dial. Somebody play it. You gonna play it? Yeah. So that, and
During Halloween time, I got a Halloween song that I'm dropping too.
Really?
It's a pop Halloween song. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy.
So we will be staying tuned. Put it up. Put it up.
I can barely walk, but we still ain't leaving the club. Bottles full of bourbon and we all about to pour. I'm just a Florida boy, like for a country girl. With a twang in your voice, I'll give you world. Dancing, dancing, dancing all night till the lights turn on. With the hands in the air screaming, that's my song. About 1 a.m. and I'm looking for a bad way. The bourbon kicking in, you will swear I never had one. Post some pictures in the club and the caption is a bad. She looking for a city boy, cause she know she never had me. She got a cowgirl hat and the matching boots. She talking in my ear saying, you too cute. After party in my place, so what you trying to do? I took a country girl, now I got a vibing with. I got a big boy truck, bass bumping while we in it. She got her hands in the air, looking at me like she ready. Sliding with me for the day, she left the hate for the city. I can barely walk, but we still ain't leaving the club. Bottles full of bourbon and we all about to pour. I'm just a Florida boy, like for a country girl. With a twang in your voice, I'll give you world. Dancing, dancing, dancing all night till the lights turn on. With the hands in the air screaming, that's my song. When you got a Florida boy, you gotta handle the heat. Need a bag or the sweet like a Georgia peach. Take her off the horse into an SRT. With the top down, country boys don't do it like me. When you got a Florida boy, she got a cowgirl hat and the matching boots. She talking in my ear saying, you too cute. After party in my place, so what you trying to do? I took a country girl, now I got a vibing with. I got a big boy truck, bass bumping while we in it. She got her hands in the air, looking at me like she ready. Sliding with me for the day, she left the hate for the city. I can barely walk, but we still ain't leaving the club. Bottles full of bourbon and we all about to pour. I'm just a Florida boy, like for a country girl. With a twang in your voice, I'll give you world. Dancing, dancing, dancing all night till the lights turn on. With the hands in the air screaming, that's my song. I took a country girl, I got a big boy truck. She got her hands in the air, sliding with me for the day, she left the hate for the city.